Swastiastu, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, Shalom, Namo Buddhaya. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you watch my presentation video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, I would like to present my quantitative research proposal. But before that, I would like thanks Mr. Harry Santosa, SPD, MPD, PhD as a supervisor in writing this proposal. And here I would like to introduce myself also. My name is Kadek Ita Tristiani from 4A class, and my student ID number is 201-202-1002. So, ladies and gentlemen, here the title of my research is The Influence of Instagram as an English Learning Medium Toward the Fluency Level of Student Speaking in Class 11 of SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this presentation, there are three things that will be the topic focus. The first is the research background. And the second is literature review. And the last is methodology of this research. And ladies and gentlemen, immediately I will explain what is the background of my research. So the background of my research on this topic is the increasing use of Instagram from years to years, especially during the pandemic. There are up to 45 million people who are active as Instagram user. Therefore, Instagram becomes a very interesting medium if it is used to teaching and learning process, especially in learning English. In addition, it is supported by many advanced features on Instagram, such as the choice public account that focus on teaching English as the main topic content, and also much of the content on Instagram is in English. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is so easy to find videos containing English material that can really support it and for teaching English on many each other occasions. There are several researchers who are extending the development of the technological such as Instagram for collaborate language equation and classroom experience in EFL environment. It is according to Fabiola in 2005. So, ladies and gentlemen, that the existence of this technological development has the major influence of learning English, especially in orally. The research provides information that the use Instagram has both benefit as a pedagogical tools that can be applied, because in the learning student can use Instagram to share their ideas and opinion. And next, correlate, as we know, the fluency in level speaking English in Indonesia is still very low in speaking English, where fluency refers to a fluency in pronunciation syllables and phrase. When we speak English, fluency in speaking English is very important in conveying information when socializing with our interculture, because if we are not influenced in speaking English, it will make listener or speaker to communicate is easy and effective. And from the descriptive above, it is pointed that Instagram as a learning medium for English is very interesting. And also, it is introduced the new things, especially Instagram as a learning medium that can help improve student speaking skill at this time. Fluency in speaking English is very important, and in this industrial 4.0 era. So, starting from the premise described above, the researchers is very interested in conducting from the Instagram as a learning medium, increasing fluency in speaking English at SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida. Therefore, in order increased fluency in speaking English and departing from this assumption, researchers are interested in conducting research on the influence of Instagram as a learning medium on fluency level in speaking skill at SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida, and took the title, Here is the Influence of Instagram as a Learning Medium on the Influence level in student speaking in class 11 of SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida. And next, about identification of the study. So, ladies and gentlemen, based on the background of the study, I can conclude that there are three several problems that can usually found in the teaching and learning process of speaking. One of is the selection of the learning media that is coordinates with the wishes of the student. There are many factors can affect the appreciation of the fluency problem. And the problem that is often occurred is the student have difficult in speaking fluency in speaking English, such as the factor for the learning media used by the teacher are still very monotone, have not found suitable alternative methods, and have been able to provide it motivation. This is frequency and pronunciation of the student being to experience a passive condition. And the second, the student lack of interest in exploring English creatively. And the low motivation of the student can developing their acting skill in learning English. And next, we talk about the limitation of the study. So, ladies and gentlemen, based on the problem identification, the researchers focus on the identifying the influence of Instagram as an English learning medium toward the influency level of student in English speaking. And next, about the research problem of this research. So, based on this background, the research problem is there any influence of Instagram as a learning medium toward the student speaking fluency in class 11 at SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida? And the purpose of the study is to find out the influence of Instagram as a learning medium toward the student speaking fluency in class 11 SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida. And next, the significance of the study. So the result of the study are expected to be beneficial, theoretical and practical significance. The first, I will to explain the theoretical significance. So the theoretical significance, the result of the study can enrich empirical reference regarding the influence of using Instagram as an English learning medium toward the student speaking fluency in class 11 at SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida. And also, more specific content in this research was expected to be reference for research involving Instagram as a medium for learning English toward the student speaking fluency in 11th class at SMA Negeri Nusa Penida. And furthermore, it is expected to be reference to be development of Instagram as medium for learn to good speak English. And next, practical significance of this research. So the first is for student. So for student, it is expected that student can find out the influence of Instagram as English learning medium on the level of influence in student speaking. And for teacher, it is expected the teacher can find out the effect of Instagram as English learning medium on the level of fluency uh, in student speaking. And it is also hope that the teacher can be inspired to apply Instagram in learning English better. And next, for the readers, so the research this research is expected that reader can increase their knowledge, especially regarding the influence of Instagram as one medium for learning English on the level of fluency in student speaking. And the last for researchers. So it is expected that researchers can develop research results. And next, about the literature review of this research. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this study, there are several theories that relate to the topic of my research. The first is related to Instagram. There are two theories. The first is according to Kelly 20 and 15. It is Instagram application which has built the Kevin system and make Courageous, and Instagram was launching in October 2010, and its popularity continues to rise, and over 100 million active Instagram account user into 2015. Instagram is very impressive application with the amazing features and used to support humans achieving goals related to the needs, create space, fashion, food, life, education, and daily activities. And there are many Instagram features that can provide a great opportunity to teach speaking skill to each user while also teaching writing to students. And in line, the second theory, it's come from positive perception according to Jaya about the Instagram as a learning medium. And next, fluency in speech is extraordinary ability to provide a stream of sound or speech that can be understood when humans communicate with their interculture, and it is line with the Hayes in 2002, which has the following definition. The word fluency can be meant as the ability to try express oneself independently, intelligently, accurately, and without too much hesitation. And next, relate Instagram. There are several relate in the teaching using Instagram. There are several empirical review with support of theoretical before, but I only put 4 several empirical review that I put in my literature review. So the first is according Jaya in 20 and 21 about the use of Instagram as a learning medium which is able to create fun classroom situation and help students to be creative, communicative, and also collaborative is peers. And the next, according to Devi, in 20 and 20, so Instagram can help students improve their English language skill. It is show that Instagram is the most popular way to students to learn English. And next, according to academics in 2017, here, by the reviewing their videos, student becomes more critical on their own skill. So the student will have more time to check their work and learn more and more each time. And next, according to Apriyanti et al. In 2018, Instagram is one of the a social media site that teacher can use to help them in teaching English. And ladies and gentlemen, next we talk about the conceptual framework. So here, Instagram is a fun application that turned into a digital language for users. So in the conceptual framework, Instagram is to be able to create and share video and photo, and also we can share about the story of our life. But I think it can be a wonderful motivation for a space for teacher to be create on their own. It is to be able to use Instagram as a medium learning, uh, especially in helping improve fluency in speaking. So based on theory of language learning, Instagram has a potential to be used in the context of practicing fluency in speaking. And here I very interested to identify the influence of Instagram as an English learning medium on the fluency level of speaking student in a class 11 at SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida. And next, the research hypothesis of this study. So there are two hypotheses of this study. The first is null hypothesis. So here it means that Instagram has not significant effect on increasing young students speaking fluency in the levels. And next, the second hypothesis is that alternative hypothesis. So here, that Instagram has a significant if the effect increasing young students speaking fluency levels. And next, methodology of this research proposal. So there are several topics that we will discuss. And the first is the design of the study. So, ladies and gentlemen, based on the review of the problem above, the researchers apply a quantitative method, and in this research, the type of research that will be conducted is quasi-experimental research. In the quasi-experimental method, the researchers try to determine whether a treatment effect and the result of the study. So the effect was assessed by applying a certain treatment to one group, it is a experimental group, and not applying, it is a control group. So after determining how the two groups determine the final outcome, it is according to Creswell in 2015. And next, the setting of the study. So ladies and gentlemen, the study was conducted in the one of high school in the Nusa Penida Regency. So I choose SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida because the school is just to be established, and the school has not implemented Instagram as medium for learning to speak English. And this school is located in the Pet Village, Nusa Penida District, Lungkung Regency, Bali. And next, about the population and in this study. So the population in this study is class 11 at SMA Negeri 1 Nusa Penida, and the sample is class 11 MIPA 1 and class 11 MIPA 2, which will be a subject of this study. And next, about the method and instrument data collection. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this study, the pre-test and post-test method will be used to determine the level of fluency to observe the two groups. And talking about the pre-test, pre-test is one of the activities that is carried out before starting a treatment. It is experimental study, and it is to make sure the actual ability for student regarding the level of fluency in student speaking, which will be measure of this study. And next, about the post-test. Here, post-test is the test activity that carried after a treatment. Here can be a final evaluation of a lesson, and the post-test has aims to knowing the success of the treatment. And the researchers will be also use speaking fluency test as an instrument for this study to carry out the fluency testing in speaking. And speaking fluency test, it is carry out a speaking fluency test that we can judge a fluency by a speech span of the access also a pronunciation of the member by the amount of and also doubt that a person speaks. And next, about the method of data analysis. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this study, the analysis technique is carried out in this stage is by conducting several technique analysis. So, the first is research instrument test. So, ladies and gentlemen, before the researchers conduct independent test, the researchers must carry out what is called the research instrument test, which consists of validity test and also reliability test. So, validity test is a test to condition that show whether this instrument to be used in to be able to measure what is the measured. Validity test will be carried out the half of the SPSS type 19 version application. And next, reliability test. Reliability test is a test determined index that can show the extent to which measuring the instrument and can be trusted by the research. So here, in the reliability test, the researchers will be also apply the SPSS type 19 version to exercise in the analyze data. And next, about a test recruitment analysis. So, ladies and gentlemen, before the researchers carry out the data analysis, researchers will be conduct analysis recruitment test. It is consists of the first is normality test. So, ladies and gentlemen, normality test is a test carried out by the researchers to find out whether a sample in the research to be carried out comes from a population is normality distributed or not. So, the implementation of data analysis can be continued if the data analysis to be normal distributed. Normal testing is this will be accessed by SPSS type 19 version with converged mirrors, and the data will said to be normal if the probability more than 0.05 and the normality test with Kolmogorov-Smirnov. And next, homogeneity test. So, ladies and gentlemen, homogeneity test is a test conducted to determine whether a two group in this study, like experimental group and control group, are homogeneous or not. So, in this study, the researchers will be conduct a homogeneity test using the SPSS type 19% application. So if the result show a significant value more than 0.05, it can be concluded that the two groups are homogeneous, and if the significance is less than 0.05, it can be concluded that the result of two groups being tested is not homogeneous. And next is hypothesis test or t-testing. So hypothesis testing is a test step used in the hypothesis testing. So this hypothesis test is a technique applied a t-test or called independent test. The t-test is a testing activity carried out to find out the average difference between two groups that are bounded with each other by using SPSS version 2019 application. And I also take the research schedule. The research schedule timeline in the appendix of the research proposal. So the following is the description of this activity that will be take place for 1 semester or 9 months. And well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all my presentation about my research proposal. I say sorry if there are still many mistakes, and very open to all my friends to give me comment, critique, and suggestion. Okay, that's all from me. I close. Om Santi 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 Om.